What's going on, y'all? This is Isaiah Fowler, the founder of SWAV Eyewear and SWAV Agency. And this is the Starts With a Vision podcast, Reloded. And this is the only platform in the world that's going to give you the real, that's going to help you grow your direct-to-consumer brand, right? I did not have a whole bunch of videos that like this that I can go to on YouTube and consume to continue to grow and learn how to grow my brand, not my e-commerce store, but my brand. And that's why I started saying, man, I'm gonna put these videos out because this just was not out here at all. So if you're rocking with it, be sure to subscribe on YouTube and also the podcast. Really appreciate it. That's definitely gonna help us grow. If you know somebody who has a product-based business, then send them this video and let them know, because I'm definitely going to help you grow your brand, right? And just remember, I'm coming at this from a brand perspective, and also I come at this from a perspective of building an actual company, right? Build an actual company. Don't just be somebody that has a website and it's just making money and that's it. If you want to do that, then that's cool, but I don't talk to those people. I speak to the people that have a product and they really want to turn this thing into a brand, right? That one day an investor would, look at this and say, I want to drop $1 million in this company, right? I want to buy this company. I want to acquire this company. That's really where I be coming from. So sometimes, the things I say, they be a little bit radical or harsh or whatever, but it's really coming from a good place and it's coming from just a different perspective, right? So today we're talking about the answer to all of your questions or all of your problems is brand. Almost every problem that you have in your company, from a perspective of how we're going to grow revenue, is the brand. And we're going to talk about that today, right? So let's sit here and think about it. There's people that hire me and they want to, some people say I'm in a slump or it's going slow right now. And I start asking them, certain questions. And I started to realize and understand the answer is always BRAND, which is brand. And I'm going to elaborate on what I mean and why I even say that. But there is a misconception that business is just numbers, right? Business is just numbers. Business is just numbers. Business is just numbers. That is actually false. Numbers are a part of business, but business is not just numbers. Because you have something called people, right? And you have something called customers. And it's really about balancing the customers, the people, and the numbers and the data. But you use the data to build the brand, right? You use the numbers to build the brand. Very, very, very important. So a lot of people are like, how do I increase my revenue? Why is this happening in my business? Why aren't we selling this? Why did revenue dip? Why can't we get back to where we were at last year? My answer is always the same. We got to focus on the brand. We got to focus on the brand. Yo, we got to focus on the brand. Hey, we got to focus on the brand, right? That's always the answer. Now, what do I mean when I say we have to focus on the brand? Let's say that for the first 6 months of the year, you was killing it. You was like murdering the game. Now, it's like a little bit down. Let's say it's down by 30%, and you just can't figure it out. This is why strategy is so important, because strategy or hiring somebody to help you with strategy will expose you to what you couldn't see. So if revenue has been down, the way I would look at it is I'm going to look at the numbers, and then I'm going to look at your brand. And I'm going to try to balance out the two and see where we're at, right? Where we went wrong, what's going on, what's not going on. And most likely you're just making money, but you're not pouring in to the people that are actually paying your company and helping your company grow, right? It's easy to get in a cycle of it's easy to get in a cycle of, oh, I'm making money, revenue's growing, I'm good. We saw that happen in COVID. So many people during COVID, and I'm gonna do a whole episode about this too, but so many people during COVID just rode the wave and they turned a blind eye to their brand, right? You cannot turn a blind eye to your brand just because you're making money. Because what ends up happening is you turn a blind eye to the brand, you're making money, and now when the money dries up, it's going to be like, now what? You ignored the brand, right? You cannot ignore what's going to pay you. You can't ignore what's going to take care of you. So here's usually how it goes. You have a company. Let's say you got two companies. One company focuses on money and revenue numbers and data. In the beginning, they're going to grow faster. Another company focuses on people and brand. It's going to grow a little bit slower. But then what happens is the compounded efforts over time is going to allow the company that focused on the brand to go higher than the company that focused on just numbers, data, and revenue. This is a fact. At some point, if you're only focused on the numbers, you're going to plateau. You may plateau at 1 million. You may plateau at 6 million. You may plateau at 30 million. But at some point, you're going to reach a plateau and you're not going to be able to figure out why it's happening. This is a fact. You remember that episode I did about operate off principles and not trends? This is what I mean, right? So most people, they don't want to dive into the brand because the revenue is being made. So they think that they have it figured out. But it's like you have to be overly proactive about your brand to keep your brand intact, right? Think about Nike. They do things that nobody else does. That's why they're Nike. So ask yourself, do I do things what nobody else does? Do I do things that nobody else in my industry does? Or am I doing things that everybody is doing? Pay attention to what the masses do and do the opposite. That's what a wise man said. That's why I say the brand is the answer. If you're reaching a plateau, we got to dive into the brand. Why did you start the company? What does the company mean? What's it stand for? What's the narrative? What's the story? What's the founder story? Why'd you create these products? What are these products going to do for your customers? How are they going to change the world? How is that change in the world going to make you feel? How is that going to help other people? Let's dive into all of that because those things can't be quantified, but that's where the breakthrough is going to come. That's where the breakthrough happens. I see it all the time. If you're always doing discounts, your brand is at risk. If you're always doing collaborations, your brand is at risk. Most people do discounts just for money. Most people do collaborations for visibility because they think that that's going to make them more money. So are you doing it for the brand? Is it in alignment with the brand? Or are you just doing it because you want to keep making more money? There's nothing wrong with making more money. Don't ever get that twisted. That is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is there's a more chill way to go about it. And you want to always be pouring into people and being of service to the world. That's what you started the company for. Well, I realized that that's not why a lot of people start the company. They start companies because they just want to make the money. But at a rudimentary level in business, a company is started because it solves a problem. So if you keep your hunger for solving that problem at the forefront, you'll have a brand. But once you start to get away from why you started it, you start to lose your brand. And now you become a commoditized company rather than an actual brand that has a following and an audience of people that really fuck with it. Tough. So you have to really ask yourself, do I want a commoditized company or do I want an actual brand? Numbers, data, statistics are great. They're very important, but don't only use it just to make more money. Sometimes you got to lose a little bit of money to keep the money coming in. That's brand. Spend a little bit extra so that you could keep the well wet rather than, oh, I'm not going to spend money on that because it's not bringing home a return right now. That's not how this should be going, right? It may not be the right time, but don't write it off. You can't just say, I'm trying to get to 1 million, that's it. Because at that point, what that means is you're willing to do anything for that milli. You're literally willing to do anything for that million. And you got to ask yourself, what's your moral compass, right? Is money running you that much where you want to do anything for the money? Or do you actually care about the people that saw your company, believed in it enough to actually buy the product? Right? What else is brand? The product. How can we make this product better and better and better? How can we make the marketing better and better and better? How can we make our emails better and better and better? How can we make our strategy better, better, better? These are all things that pour into the brand. All these things are going to pour into your brand. And I guarantee you, this is a fact. If you dive into your brand more than you dive into the numbers, your whole business will change. Your whole business will change. Your whole business will open up. Because it's going to get to a point where you're going to realize like, damn, this shit is really about serving people. Because if you can make a person feel a certain way, they're going to stick with you forever. So you have to invest into that. Invest into making your customers feel amazing. Invest into making your customers feel appreciated. Right? Invest into those things. That's what's going to take your company to another level. Because every industry is basically not new. There's competitors in every industry. So what is really going to make your company stand out at scale over time? And more than likely, the answer is brand. Brand. Brand is a recognizable thing. And it happens over time. Every day, every month, every year, everything you do in your business should be for the brand. We're building a brand. Feel what I'm saying? So always know and remember, most of the answers, most of the problems that we're facing in our business, the answer is brand. So if I ever am at a roadblock, I just ask myself about the brand. I've trained myself to do that. And what this does is it makes you take the longer route. Yes, businesses need money. Not saying that. But at some point, you got to start thinking about the people. Because the people are what pays the company. Right? If you're only doing it for the money, it's going to be a transaction. They're going to buy, and that's it. But if you're doing it for the people, they're going to buy, they're going to converse, they're going to engage, then they're going to tell other people, then they're going to come and be a repeat customer, etc., etc., etc. And when you have a brand, a lot of certain statistics don't even matter because you got so many intangibles that don't even matter. And that's the key to it all. So really think about these things and really ask yourself, do I really have a brand? Am I really focusing on my brand? Or am I just making money? And, you can ask that to yourself and answer it. Hold yourself accountable and, do what you need to do in order to, see some changes in your business. So always remember, everything you do in life starts with a vision. Focus on the brand, dive into the brand, and I'm going to holla at y'all on another episode. Peace.